Hello everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft. Welcome back to the channel. Today is the last Friday of the month, so that means it's time for the Mixed Media Frenzy YouTube Hop. So we're taking inspiration from this mixed media layout from Creative CCR. That's the username at the top. And I love the way that this looks. I love the colors of it. I love that there's like some, what looks to me like stenciling and like maybe some package technique for the background, which is what I am going to end up doing on my layout. I'm starting off using some Ingvid Bolm ink, and the color is Rusty Keys. And then I'm taking one of my new Vicky Bouton stencils that I got from Paper Issues as part of my February. Oh, is this a sneak peek? When did I get these stencils? I don't even remember. Could be part of the February haul. Could have been something I got earlier this month. I have no idea. I have no idea where I am in the timeline, you guys. I think I've like broken off. There's like a rogue Loki, and I've broken off into an alternate universe because I just don't know anymore. So I did some stenciling. It's very light. Surprisingly, the color of the orange, maybe I needed to like press a little bit harder, but it came out a little bit light. You can see it more when you're close up. And then I'm going to use this stamp, which I've never used before, hence why it is basically glued to the plastic it came on. But I really like the sort of floral aspect of it, and there seem to be like some big elements on the original layout. So I'm going to stamp a couple of these like big orange flower things, and I'm just going to kind of put them every which way. I'm going to turn the stencil, or I'm going to turn the stamp so that it goes like sideways and upside down. I'm just going to put it in random places along the layout. And I don't have an idea of where my photo is going to be. I'm just kind of like picking, some of it's going to get covered up, as always happens with mixed media, but I'm just trying to like be somewhat strategic about where I'm putting things so that it looks sort of haphazard, but planned, if that makes any sense. So yeah. So while I'm doing that, let me tell you very quickly, this is my 200th process video. I started this channel in 2017. Here we are in 2022. I'm over 650 subscribers, and so next week is going to be a big week, because in one of the videos that I post next week, there's going to be a giveaway. I've got a great sponsor who is willing to give away an amazing prize, and so you don't want to miss out on that. So if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Thank you so much for subscribing and sticking with me. It's great having you here and connecting with you through this fun little crafty medium. If you have not subscribed yet, consider subscribing so that you don't miss out on when that giveaway posts, and you'll be able to enter. So yeah, good times. So now moving on to the second part of this layout, where I'm doing my, a little bit more mixed media. My favorite technique, the packaging technique, but I'm doing it a little bit differently. Usually I like just spray the misting spray onto the acetate or the plastic packaging, and I'll just like smush it down onto the page. So I'm trying to be a little, again, strategic here, because the original layout, it looks like there are like lines, like she might have painted those swatches of color. I don't know. I don't know if there's a process video for her layout, but I wanted it to look, like lines. So I grabbed some colors. I was using the Kaisercraft Rose Gold Iridescent Spray, as well as the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Spray in Fossilized Amber. I felt like I needed a little bit of something else, so I also picked up my Shimmers Vibes in Pop Art Pink, which is literally one of my favorite colors. And I'm also I'm shaking up right now my Nuvo Mica Mist in Antique Gold, just to add some splatters. I had thought about doing that. It's the third color, but it doesn't package technique very well. I gotta be honest with you. It's much better for splatters than anything else. And the back cardstock that this is a Vicky Bouton Foundations paper. So it's holding the colors really well. The paper doesn't warp. It's a really nice, thick paper. I mean, you could do this on a regular piece of cardstock as well, but you're probably going to get some warping, especially with all of the misting spray color going down. So I've kind of really mimicked what the original layout looks like, and that's totally fine. The great thing about these types of challenges, and what you'll find when you go visit everybody else who's participating in this hop down in this description box below, you'll see everybody's got a different take on this. And so some people will, be a little more literal with the design and the mixed media elements, and other people will take maybe inspiration from just the colors, or they'll maybe flip the design or what have you. So that's what's really cool about these mixed media frenzy challenges, as well as any of the other challenge hops that I participate in. It's just fun to see what everybody does, what everybody creates. So I've got a couple papers here that I'm going to back my photo with. I'm pretty sure they're all part of the Bungalow Lane collection. And these were papers that I purchased for my Scrapbook and Cards Today Inspiration Series installment, where I did the Fall Designers Challenge. I love the designer challenges because it tells you what to work with, and then makes it really easy to purchase items, and then it's just all up to you as to how you want to use these pieces. So I mean, this could be like an extension of that video that I did, which I'll try to remember to link below. I'm not very good about remembering to link things because I forget what I tell you I'm going to link, and then I go to upload the video to YouTube and I just totally forget. So I'm sorry if you've watched one of my videos and you're like, there's supposed to be a link below, and then there isn't. You can tell me in the comments if I've forgotten to add it, and then I will go back and add it. That might be the best. That might be the best thing to do. Or feel free to just leave me a comment about anything. Let me know if you have questions about what I have been doing so far on this layout, the products that I used, how you can participate in the mixed media frenzy hop. Leave it all in the comments, or just say hi. So what I really liked about the original layout was that there were these big floral pieces kind of in the center. When I didn't have this really up, the original layout up when I was filming this and making this layout. So I think I thought those big pieces were like going all the way from top to bottom. They're really not. They're really just like clustered into the center, and you can see a couple of them are off to the sides. There's like one, I think maybe a little bit at the bottom. But what I wanted to do was take the big die cut ephemera pieces that were part of this collection and use those as my big floral embellishments. So I've got some of the leaves here, and I wanted the leaves as opposed to the flowers because this is a photo that was taken in the fall. Fall leaves. We did get to see some fall foliage. You can't see much of it in this photo, but this photo is going to be kind of like the starter for all the rest of the photos that go with this sort of adventure. And originally, I think I have like 10 photos. I was thinking of doing a 2-page layout, but I honestly think it's going to be easier for me to separate all of these photos because for this event, it was actually kind of like a drive at your own pace and explore the county weekend. So there was a list of places that you could go to, and we went to a lot of them. We didn't hit all of them just because of time. But we did drive around and we saw some really pretty fall foliage, and we learned some history of the area where we live. And so this is a photo of my kid. We found this little like walking path in one of the stops. And so I took a picture of her at the bottom of the stairs, to the walking path. And I'm going to kind of make this be the starter to all of the rest of the layouts that I create for this one event. I felt like doing 2 pages trying to do a 2-page layout might just be too much, trying to figure out, do I have enough papers to stretch across that really wide spread? I'm going to split it all up. So that means I'm going to have a lot of layouts to create, which is perfect because I'm running out of photos. So it's nice to separate these things. And I'm going to do them by stop. Each place we stop is going to get its own layout. So as you can see, I've got the leaves where I want them, and then I've also pulled some other fall embellishments from my stash, and I am placing them where I want them. That little piece there, I'm cutting out, it looks like it's on like a paper scroll. So I'm just cutting that out from the square because I felt that the square was too big. And then I'm going to ink the edges of everything, even the stuff that is like small and oddly shaped. I'm still going to try to ink the edges with my black ink just to help it stand out a little bit more against the white backdrop and some of the colors of the mixed media. So this was a great one for pulling random stuff from my stash. I've said this before this month, if you're doing a no spend year, no spend January, and you're trying to shop your stash, I'm pretty sure you're going to be surprised at some of the things that you see and how well they are going to fit in with everything else that you've got. Along with the Bungalow Lane stuff, there is that goose is actually from a Norwegian wood cat martin. I think is her name. It's a very old collection, very, very old collection. I've had it for like 5 years. So it's about time that I like finish that up and use it. And then there's also another bigger piece. I layered something else on top of it. You'll see it in a second. That was also part of that collection. So again, like really glad that I'm using it. There it is. It says love, but I'm covering up the love. So only the flowers are going to peek out behind it because I've got another cut apart piece that I'm going to put on top of it. So yeah, just a great way to find things in your stash, and especially it's always surprising to see what you have, especially when you're trying to find embellishments to fit with a layout. And I wanted to have some of these smaller pieces. I took a piece of branding strip and I cut words from it. And I did that because the original layout, it just looks like there's a lot of small pieces, small little embellishments that are kind of tucked in here and there. And so that's what I was trying to mimic. Just really layering a lot of pieces, creating some dimension, and like you just using up a lot of stuff, building the layers, building the clusters. So there's some of the words that I cut out from that branding strip. Some of them, the top two are going to say wonderful and sweetheart. And then I'm going to have two at the bottom. They're going to say sweet thing and one fine day. And of course, I don't end up putting them in the exact location that you're going to see, or that they look like right here. And that's simply because as I was going through here, like I'm trying to be very careful to leave things placed where they are so that I don't mess them up, because I like the way everything looks. But of course, in order to get to some of the bottom pieces to adhere them, I have to like pull other things up. And it would be easier if I was using my double-sided adhesive squares, but I'm using the double-sided tape, the Scotch brand double-sided tape, and that's a little bit harder to like tuck underneath pieces of paper. It tends to want to stick to my finger, so you really have to like press it down in just the right way, and it's hard to just kind of like try to tuck it and do that. So I had to peel everything up, and that meant that when I went to put everything back down, it wasn't exactly in the same spot, and that's okay. I know people who will take photos of their layouts before they adhere everything, so that way they have a point of reference as to where everything goes. But I think even doing it that way, you're still going to be kind of like not putting everything exactly back in the right spot. So I don't know if there's a really great way to do it, but I mean, unless you're just going to scrapbook and like put stuff down and just stick it down and call it done. I don't really like to do that. I like to see where everything is going to go, so I know the best placement for things. And so this is my technique. This is how I like to do it. Place it down first. Don't stick it down. Just place it down and then go back and try to very, very carefully get that adhesive down. I've got little glasses there. Why do I have glasses there? I don't know. It was part of one of the fall collections that I had embellishment pieces for, and since my kid wears glasses, I was like, oh, I'll use the glasses. You can just add things, and no one has to know why you've added them. Chances are, if somebody looks through your scrapbook album, they're not going to be like, why did you choose that embellishment? They're just going to be like, oh, this is so pretty. And so you're not going to have to answer to anyone but yourself, and yourself shouldn't really care, right? So just use the embellishments that you like, and use things that fit in the right spots. That's all I have to say about that. So here's where I'm like, ooh, I've got too much white space between that little cut apart square and the leaf, and I'm not really remembering where everything was or where it was all going. So I'm trying to recreate that side piece there, and I'm just not liking the way those two words look over the leaf. It's almost like they needed to be maybe either bigger, or I don't know. It was just like covering up too much, and I wasn't feeling it. So that's why I ended up moving them up to the top. So this layout is almost done. Honestly, even though I did mixed medium, I'd say the most time that I spent on this layout was trying to figure out where to place all the embellishments. I think a lot of people shy away from mixed media because they think it's too much work. But really, it's not that much work. I mean, it took me a couple minutes to get all of the layers of my stenciling and stamping and misting sprays down. And then, yes, I did let it dry overnight. I could have used a heating gun to dry it all, but I just let it dry overnight just because sometimes that's easiest. And then I came back and like literally I think I might have spent an hour trying to figure out how to put these embellishments down. So like hands-on time with the mixed media was maybe 10 minutes tops. All right, not counting the drying time. The rest of it took much, much longer. So don't let mixed media keep you from experimenting or keep you from getting into it just because you think it's going to be a lot of work. I mean, putting together a scrapbook layout is a lot of work. It can be. There are challenging elements to every portion of scrapbooking, whether you're doing mixed media or not. So don't let too much work or too messy be your excuse to give it a try. It really is a lot of fun, especially when you've got great inspiration like what the Mixed Media Frenzy Facebook group finds every month. So I'm just building out some of those clusters there, adding a little bit more color, some of that shimmer and dimension with the Your Next stamp little gem stickers there, or enamel dots. They've got a really pretty glittery finish to them. I desperately need more. I think they're so cool. You can get them from yournextstamp.com. Scrapbook.com recommended them to me, but they don't sell them, which I think is kind of weird. Or maybe they're going to soon. I don't know. But you can get them from the Your Next Stamp website, as well as, I guess, stamps, probably, and inks and stuff. They don't just sell enamel dots. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any favorite, like, local scrapbook stores, local online scrapbook crafty places that you think I should know about. I'm feeling like I should do a blog post soon about my favorite online, local scrapbook stores, scrapbook online stores, because there are so many of them popping up, and I think it's a great alternative to the big box stores and even scrapbook.com, because then you're supporting really like local businesses, even though they're online. But they're small businesses. You're supporting small. And I think that's really important, especially in the crafting community when so many scrapbook stores are going under and are no longer around. I think we need to support our fellow scrapbooking entrepreneurs, right? And so I think I might do a post about some stores that could be alternatives to like going to Michael's or Hobby Lobby or what have you. And I know some people don't like to pay shipping, but I think in the end, it's like I said, it's just great to support some small businesses. And you're probably like, are you going to do something with those leaves that are sticking off the page? Yes, I am. I'm going to cut the ends of them off so that they're all flush with the sides of the paper. Now my title here is going to be Ready for Adventure. And I think I've talked about these paper letters from Simple Stories before. I'm finding that they don't stick very well. They tend to start to peel up. So you're going to have to like put something heavy on top of them, especially until you get them into like a page protector. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. I do like the colors of them and the different sizes, but yeah, the paper stickers don't want to stick down very well. And I'm calling it Ready for Adventure because, like I said, this is going to be the first layout in my series of this whole Exploring Our County event. And I'm going to do a little bit of journaling about thanking my kid for, being a good sport and doing these little adventures with me, because I know that one day she's going to be older and she might not want to hang out with her mom and do these little adventures. She might not want to be going on like family outings. So I hope it lasts for as long as it can. And I just want her to know that I'm grateful that she is, always game to take a drive and see things and experience new things with me. So that's kind of the journaling for that. And then there are going to be some close-up photos to follow so that you can see more detail about everything, especially that mixed media. I just love the way that looks. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Happy scrapping!